Does this work? Who's here? Let's see if I can hear myself. Huh? Hit play. It works. Lovely. Minimize this. Make sure that shows up. Okay. Oh, look, my chat is there. Can't hear you. Ah. We'll make it nice and loud then. Interesting. Wireless keyboard stopped working right as I started the stream. Nice. Always got to have stuff break right as you begin. All right, everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Today we're here to announce the start of alpr.watch. This is a website that goes over essentially it's trying to automate the process of getting people involved in opposing flock surveillance cameras being installed in their area. So I've been doing a lot of videos going over these AI surveillance cameras. We've done why they're bad. We've staged some protests in person. I've done some here in Austin. We've done some in Denver. I have a Zulip chat where people have been talking about this and arranging them in their own community. And one of the most fun things to do is put together something like this. So this shows you where these are not installed yet, but where they're talking about these cameras being installed all over the country. And when you use this site, I'll just put it full screen, see if that makes it any prettier. And when you make it full screen, you'll be able to select alerts for your area. So I can do update settings. You can enter your zip code. I don't know why it defaults to my old New York City zip code instead of my current zip code, but that's the New York state of mind that just doesn't want to go away. Like this freaking fly that's about to get it. By the way, why do I have flies near my desk? Don't look down. No, no, no. No, no, no. You have one job. You have one job. Don't look at me like you want a third can of food. I fed you twice this morning. It's not even 2 o'clock yet. You've had 10 ounces of food. No. You want protein, eat the fucking fly. Anyway, back to this. So this site will allow you to get notifications anytime that these cameras are being proposed for installation in your area. So if you only want to get a notification with a 2-mile radius, you could do that. You want to get a 100-mile radius, you can do that. If you want to get notifications for the entire country, you can do that. You can set it to show only upcoming meetings, or you can have it show meetings that have already occurred. So if you toggle show only upcoming meetings, you can see this. And we have a moderation system. We're working at getting some nice administrators in here, because this is not just being done by an AI. I am not going to have people show up to legislative hearings on the word of some random AI or some scraper. Human being has to go through and manually approve every single one of these for the map. So it's not going to send you to a meeting because somebody says that they want to talk about their emotional support flock of pigeons. Audio's still bad. Audio's fine, bro. It's fine. No trolling. Let's see. So, Gargantuan WF to technocracy. Thank you. Yes, hopefully. Thank you very much. Let's see. I told my 58-year-old manager about Flock last night in one sentence, and her jaw dropped to the floor. The amount of people have no idea this is even coming and don't approve is huge. Also, hi. Lol. Cool. Thank you, VV. Diver down VV. I appreciate it. Yeah, most people don't really understand what's going on. And I had even yesterday, I was getting a bunch of comments saying, so how does this differ from somebody who's having a cop just read all the license plates that go by? And I think a lot of people don't understand that having a cop that reads all the license plates that go by is different from having AI surveillance cameras all over the city that are scanning this stuff. Because when you think about where this is going, think about somebody just having a nice little ChatGPT-like dialogue box, and all they do is they just go, what does a car look like for somebody who voted for Ron Paul? Analyze this. Show me the itinerary between 4 and 9 p.m. of people that you believe voted for Ron Paul, and then draw it out for me. Where do they spend most of their time? Enter. You can't fucking do something like that when you have because here's the thing. I remember I use Image for my photos, image.app. This is a great little Google Photos alternative that's open source, made by the Image team at Fudo. They're awesome. I've talked about this many times. And there was, I remember typing cancer patient in, right? So this uses local AI to figure out what your photos are. And it's a really great program. I remember typing in cancer patient, and a friend of mine, their photo showed up. But the thing is, it showed up 2 months before this person was diagnosed with cancer. Whether you like or hate AI, it's really fucking good. But the problem with it is if the AI is bad, you're screwed. And if the AI is good, you're even more screwed. So I don't like the idea that this is something that can be done that easily. yeah, you probably will be good enough in a few years to be able to literally tell by the fucking face of the person in the car and the make of the car and the model and the bumper stickers. The bumper stickers will be a big one. Who somebody voted for. And there's so much that you can do with this that you cannot do. And by the time we finally get that argument across to people, by the time it sinks in, that'll be already after this stuff is fully installed. And when you take a look at the Patriot Act, or you take a look at PRISM, or any of these programs that Edward Snowden talked about after they came out, if there's anything I've learned in the United States, that once these types of surveillance systems are put in place, they don't go away. So I love what deflock.me is doing. It's a great website, and I have nothing against it. It's run by a great dude. I got to meet him in Denver. I love this thing. It tells you why they're bad, and it shows you where ALPRs are near you. But the one thing that it's missing is where they're being talked about before they happen. So if you want to know if you have AI surveillance in your area, as you can see, it's all over most of the country at this point, very depressingly. If you want to see where they already are, you can use this website. But I want to try and push back against them before they get installed. Now, the ideal time to have started this website, obviously, would have been 2 years ago. But, the second best time is today. Got an advert during a live stream. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen to you again. We're going to pin a message here for those of you who are not doing what they're supposed to do. So, in response to @Tazbird, Black Origin. What the fuck are you talking about? AI can't tell if someone has cancer. It's guessing by the image. I actually tried typing into my phone in image search borderline personality disorder, and again, like the results that show up, I'm not going to get into. Listen, it has a very interesting way of figuring these things out. Now, is it always going to tell? No, but the fact that the first person that showed up in my phone was somebody who actually had cancer, like that's fucking insane. Is it always going to be right? No. And again, this is the thing that's the problem. If it's not correct, then it's going to be, you'll see the instances in that I have in the wiki where people were getting pulled over because they had it mistook a B for an 8 or like an L for a 7 or some shit like that. When it's wrong, it's bad. When it's right, it's even worse. So yeah, I don't want that stuff getting installed all over the city. That's weird. It's completely different than a set of police officers that are sitting there looking at the license plates as they go by. It's not even remotely comparable. We hear you, but not very loud. It looks loud on my meter. Just turn the volume up. You'll be good. Or those little earwax removers. I would suggest trying one. Bro taught me micro soldering in 2020. Awesome. T-Flock is a good name. I agree. I hope people use this to learn how to interact with their local governments more. Yeah, I want to get all the source code and everything up for this at some point. I mean, he said he's open sourcing this. And what I like about that is that there are a lot of people that could use this tool for things that have absolutely nothing to do with Flock if they want to have local government engagement. Because most people a lot of people are happy to show up to these hearings. They just don't know when they exist. And a lot of people don't have the time or the willpower after a 10-hour day of work and spending some time with their family and spoiling their spoiled ass cat to spend time navigating the maze of their local government website to figure out when something's happening. And they most certainly don't want to do that every single day. Lewis for mayor of Austin when? No, thank you. Fuck that. No, I don't hate myself that much. This has stressed me out to no end. How can we actually work and be a productive human being while knowing the government is still trying to fuck us at the same time? I would say just clean up your corner of the world and do what it is you can do. Like, you can't try to fix everything all at the same time. You just fix what you can as you can. Do what it is you're able to do. The goose does not approve of Flock. I approve. Yes. What is the model of the dark blue microphone? This is a blue Blueberry. I got this thing used for about $200. It was staticking because there was a bad connection inside of it. I think it's $1,000 or $2,000 retail. Can I borrow $2? Thanks, man. I'm afraid I don't loan money, but thank you. Have you worried about Flock trying to take your site down? Not at all. Absolutely not. Not even close. What would they possibly do? If I get DDoSed, I'll just offer to pay for better hosting. If they there's no legal way you could take this down. It's literally, there's nothing wrong with it. It's taking information from public hearing site. I'm not saying from public city, in local legislatures. Like if I click here, Memphis, view meeting details, it's doing nothing other than linking to the meeting of the mayor and board of aldermen, South Haven, Mississippi City Hall, right? Wait a second. Mississippi? South Haven, Mississippi. But this is in... Oh, never mind. Okay, that is Mississippi. For some reason, I thought that I was clicking onto Tennessee because I saw Memphis, but I forgot that Memphis is on the edge. But it's doing nothing other than just linking to the pre-existing document that is public from a city's own website. There's nothing even remotely illegal about that. You're allowed to disagree with your government, and you're allowed to show up to the public city council hearing and explain why. Can you re-summarize every now and then for people that just joined? That is what the rewind button is for. Rewind. America voted for a surveillance country, let them have it. See, that's not necessarily true. I'll push back against that a little bit because most of this is not happening at the federal level or even the state level. It's happening at the local level. And the people that are pushing this through at the local level never had this as a part of their campaign. So if there was somebody running for city council and they said, I believe in installing this all the time and I'm going to AI surveil the crap out of you, and the opposition candidate said, I believe that is a violation of the Fourth Amendment, and people overwhelmingly voted for the former candidate, then I would agree with you. However, in this case, most of the time, A, these people that got elected never campaigned on these issues to begin with, and B, most of this is happening at the local level, not at the federal level. You're looking for volunteers for manually reviewing on the site. We have a few so far, but please do join the Zulip if you are interested in this. I'll leave a link here down below. What is your favorite acronym? I am not a lawyer. Yeah, say that as often as you can. Say I am not a lawyer. Favorite acronym. Can't beat it. What is ALRP? I don't know what that is. I know what ALPR is, which is automatic license plate reader. And yeah, it's coached in pro-policing talk. And yeah, the thing there is that I think one of the reasons I think I've had some luck dealing with certain legislatures and state legislatures where others have not is I'm not anti-police. I am not pro-criminal in any way, shape, or form. And I don't hide that. Let's see. Where's the one case in New York? What was that case? Yeah, like when somebody walks into a New York City small business and tries to hurt the man behind the counter who's like 70 years old and starts punching him, and that guy gets stabbed, like good riddance to bad rubbish. Seriously. I am not pro-criminal. I do not hate the police universally. Sometimes the police do some stupid shit, but I'm not a like all cops are bad person. But simultaneously, I do not want to be surveilled everywhere that I go for the rest of my fucking life. I also believe in the Fourth Amendment. And I think there need to be more people that show up to these that show that they are just average, everyday people that are not mad at a cop existing, that simultaneously also respect their Fourth Amendment. Isn't Flock the same as a stalking or a stalking tool? Well, if you think about it, if you were to do what Flock was doing, that would be considered stalking. So if I could make a map of everywhere that you went and I stored that data for a long period of time, and then I made that data available in a way that was highly insecure, that was easily susceptible to hacking, I mean, that's stalking. If somebody, I'm never going to forget this. It was like 3 years ago. There was somebody who was a YouTube fan who was kind of following me home, and he thought this was funny. You know, he knows where my store is. He knows when I close. I have my e-bike, and it's very easy to figure out where I live. That's not the point. The white pages are available for anybody. Like the third Google result was where I lived in New York City at the time. But he just followed me the entire time, and at one point, he's smirking, and I know that he's following me, and I just stopped my bike, and I said, "You should stop doing this before I do something that gets me arrested." And he's like smirking, and I'm like, okay then. And then he goes away. And nobody wants to be followed all the time. And it's weird that we will not allow it to happen. There's a high level of creepiness and an immediate visceral response when it's people doing it. But when it's a camera doing it that is put in place by a person, that is accessible by other people, that's okay. Don't like it. Need invite to join Zulip. Yeah, I have to make an invite link for you. I have to find my invite link. The DFlock page shows ALPR cameras outside the U.S. too. Are these to be worried about too? No, I'm an American. We only give a fuck about Americans here. fuck the rest of the world. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, they are a problem outside of America. The reason this site does not go over all of them is because this site admittedly does not collect data from every single one in America. So there are over 18,000 individual, I believe 12 or 18,000 municipal governments in the United States, and this one is covering approximately 2,000 of them. So there's a lot of municipal governments that are not being scraped by this tool, which is why this tool could use all the help that it can get. And the problem is I can't make this tool cover everybody else when I haven't even gotten everything in my own country yet. This does cover most governments. It's not covering a lot, I mean all of them, but it's covering the ones where you have more than 20 to 50,000 people in a city. So a lot of the governments that are not being covered here are governments where like this town is 80 people. I'm not saying that they don't matter. I'm just saying creating a scraper of this magnitude is quite difficult. Curate Solutions does have something that they claim works with about 12,000 governments, but I wasn't able. They don't have a trial. You essentially just pay, you have to, and B, it's $30,000. So I would have to pay $30,000 up front in a lump sum to then see if the results that I get from it are actually good. And this is, I would have paid the $30K if it was necessary, but I would prefer free to $30K at this point in time. BlackBerry needs a bath. She does not. She is very clean. How fucking dare you, sir? How fucking dare you? You're very clean, BlackBerry. You smell very clean. Don't listen to them. You're a good girl. BlackBerry doesn't want to. Also, who's saying you're saying your cat is better than mine? Incorrect, sir. Incorrect. My cat is adorable. Just tuned in. I got 3 ads. Kadom, there's a pinned message for you. Please read that. I don't tell people what to install here. I don't tell them how to run their life or try to sponsor stuff. But I'm just gonna throw this out. This is one of the few times I'll make an exception. If you install this, your life is going to be better. Just trust me on this one. I very rarely do the trust me bro shit, okay? I don't do trust me bro. However, I'm just going to throw this out there. This will improve your life. This will improve your life. Just go for it. Trump passed a law that local and state can no longer regulate AI policies and products and services a few days ago. Well, see, that's an interesting one because the Senate voted on that already. And it wasn't some 51 to 49 vote. It was 99-1. People that hate each other on both sides of the aisle, that can't stand each other, that will fight to the death. The one thing that they could agree on is, wait, you want a 10-year moratorium on states being able to legislate or regulate AI? No. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. Trump has been able to do a lot of things by executive order, and he's been able to do a lot of things because he has the Republican Party by the balls, or at least the Republican base by the balls, it seems. But the difference here is that this is not something where you have a slim majority, and that slim majority will allow you to get away with murder. This is something where both sides are just saying, "Fuck this, no." And I think that is something that, of all the things that he's done, where there's a lot of pushback against it because he's over or abusing the power of the office, I think that's one that's going to get rolled back because of the sheer bipartisan nature of the support, or I shouldn't say support, sheer bipartisan nature of the opposition to that. What if all cats are equally cute? That's not true. Even I have a favorite cat when it comes to cuteness. And that's just among the ones that I have. There's no such thing as all cats are equally cute. Okay, so that's about that. So I'm hoping that you'll all make good use of this website. I'm excited, and I want to say this took a lot of work for the gentleman to put together. I spent a few days putting together the plan for how this would work and like a little outline of how this would work. And I'm really hoping that this gets used, that more scrapers get added, and above all, that people will actually show up to these locations. If you live in any of the areas where they're proposing more of this garbage, a lot of you have said, how do I show up? How do I know when there's a hearing? Where are they? I'm trying to make it easier for you. And when I know a bunch of people are going to say, what do I say? And we don't have a section for that yet. So I'm hoping that the stuff that I've put together at the on this wiki page, I'm going to ask Snoot to link to this thing or put something like this on there. Yeah, I have my common questions, arguments, and responses on the wiki. Consumerrights.wiki. Common questions, arguments, and responses when discussing flock surveillance. Just as you don't have an expectation of privacy in public, which the Supreme Court has already said is bullshit. Go over the false positives and system failures. pursuit of the wrong person, all this stuff over here. I'm hoping that yeah. So you know where to go, and then you know what to say. Like, get started. I hope this works well. Thank you very much, everybody, for taking the time. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. Clippies together strong. This is Blackberry. See you in the next one. Bye now. Hi.